Markita, take it away.
Thank you, Gabby. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy early Saturday. Okay, this is going to be a family community conversation. I am a DC native. I was born and raised in Ward 8. I currently have my home here in new redistricting in Ward 8 in Navy Yard. And I'm here to talk about this uncomfortable conversation, right? For me, Gabby and Sam have been so instrumental into playing a part in my life as a homeowner. Not just a homeowner, just someone who wants to live out my legacy for my kids' kids. We've never had that conversation ever across the river, ever in my kitchen table, ever in church or anywhere. So I'm blessed that I had the opportunity to work with these affordable law firms, to have my estate plan, not just that, to have a plan beyond myself for my son Caden, who's here today. And we're going to kick it off, and I want all of you all to be comfortable in this uncomfortable conversation, because it means so much, and I'm telling you, your life will take a great turn for the better.
And Markita, let me ask you real quick, because Markita is an incredible spokesperson, and I think that everybody comes to this conversation differently and for different reasons. So can I ask you, Markita, what inspired you? What got you interested in estate planning? What made this a priority for you?
So this was definitely a priority. Again, I was speaking to Gabby a couple of weeks ago. Everybody tell you to go for the American dream, right? To own a home, to be successful, and things of that nature. But no one tells you what to do once you acquire that American dream, right? So once I became a homeowner, it was so many things that I knew that I needed to put into place, for not just for myself, but for my son. And to also make sure that I get to stay in this city, because we do know a lot of us don't get to stay in this city because of things that happen. So I wanted to ensure that I had things in place, proper legal things in place, so that way I can ensure that my son will be taken care of, not just for property reasons, but also for trust, for how my funeral will be planned. And that was something I didn't want to talk about. But unfortunately, I lost my dad right as I was going to settlement. And so that was a very touchy subject for me. And I knew he's still going through probate at this time in Maryland. So I knew for me, I didn't want to go through that same process, right? So what I did was, I was scrambling up and trying to do scratch paperwork for my own estate plan. And I was like, I can't do that. So I was reached out, and affordable law firm were doing things in our community that I didn't know about. And I reached out, and they helped me, and I had something legalized, notarized, and now I'm here. And I'm here today so you can do the same and not be afraid to, talk about these type of things.
Thanks, Markita. And I think for you sharing this story, and I know that Markita is going to stick around for a tiny bit this morning. If folks have questions for her, Markita is so incredibly open. You are so incredibly open in talking about your why and what the experience was, because we know that these are tricky conversations, and these are things that people don't want to have to think about. And so by coming here today, you're taking that next step forward. And we want to empower people with information and with resources and with access. And so if there's anything else you want to add, go for it, Markita.
Last thing I do want to add, I went through this process and I was crying the entire time. Saying, no, I'm not talking about this. He's going to talk about it at your case. And they're really compassionate. They really understand where you are, and they honestly take a one-on-one approach with you. After I did my whole plan, I did have a health scare, right? They thought I had a blood clot in my heart. I'm good, and I'm so grateful for that, right? But as you go into these hospitals, they ask you, do you have a living will? Do you have things of that nature? And I'm 37, and I told them, yeah. And everybody jumped back and like, what do you mean you have a living will? But this is what this is about. So in that time of nervousness, I knew I was confident knowing that if anything were to happen to me, my son was taken care of. So this is what this is about today. Understand that you're not promised tomorrow. Anything can happen. But I hope that you live long, just like me. But those type of things take into account and ask them a lot of questions. They're very personable, and they will get down to the bottom of anything you need. And I love them like they're my own family.